Hi everyone, nice to see you all. And this is our first Delenta Elevate webinar. We call it Delenta Elevate Events. I'm Sam, I'm the founder of Delenta.com. If you're not heard about Delenta and if you're not using Delenta today, you will hear a little bit about Delenta at the beginning of this presentation. We have a very interesting topic to talk about. Of course, we got an expert in-house who's basically going to be sharing a lot of insights about AI in coaching and industry research insights. So I'm pretty excited about as a first topic to share with you in this webinar. So let me quickly jump into the what we're going to cover today. However, before I go into it a little bit more, there's a Q&A at the end of the session. So we had the first 30 minutes. The first half is going to be more like a presentation. Olivier, our in-house expert, is going to be sharing insights about coaching very soon in AIinCoaching. And then we will have a space for Q&A. You can have you can ask all these questions. You can share your feedback with us, and there'll be a lot more discussions to have at the end. And if you want to keep your mics, mute, that would be great, just to basically avoid any disturbances for everybody else. And yeah, that's all. And what we're going to cover today is AI in coaching, especially, and how we can sort of help you simplify and streamline your business, coaching business, especially. The most individuals who's joining with us, either you have a coaching business coming from entrepreneurial background and doing a lot more coaching. And so you're probably thinking how AI can impact my coaching business, how it can impact my clients, customers, how can I give a better experience. All of that will be covering in the next few slides. So we got Oliver. He's an entrepreneur himself and started a few companies. He's a founder, and he's actually very much sort of scientifically involved with the coaching and also AI side of things. And also he's expert in our team, who's going to be sharing a lot more information with you and answering any questions you got in the AI and coaching space. So before we go into the actual event, let me give you a quick background about these events like that we do. We tend to do events every month. It's because we have our values about sharing knowledge. So Delenta, if you're wondering what is Delenta means, where does this come from? Delenta come from a Dutch word and a British word or English word. Is delen in Dutch is sharing, and if anybody knows Dutch, that's what it is about. And ta as in thank you in British colloquial we call ta. So thank you for sharing is what it means. And when I started back in 2018, it was a social experiment for people to share knowledge, and it evolved, over the time, for coaching and then mentoring and consultancy businesses to come and share their knowledge on our platform. So we do these events every month with an expert in-house. Sometimes we do like 2 times. So if you are interested in learning a lot more about coaching and a lot more, sort of knowledge around sort of topics around coaching with our community members, please do register with our newsletter. And of course, you'll get a lot more information about how to do it in the next few slides. So if you're coming into this event and if you're not sure about what Delenta is, I ought to give you a quick overview about Delenta. Delenta is a wonderful, wonderful online platform for coaches to manage their coaching businesses online and make your customers successful. So if you're running a coaching business, you should know about Delenta because it's such a great platform. I created it with my team. So of course, I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, but absolutely it has all the courses that you want to create, group workshops, individual sessions. It can track almost all those sessions, payment. You have a CRM, you can add associates, absolutely comprehensive suite for you to start your coaching business, grow your coaching business, and scale your coaching business to hundreds of coaches if you need. So we are very, very proud to share these knowledge with you, with our experts in-house and in our community. So just to give you a background, because we sort of this is the first event that we're doing this year, to start with Olivier, and we want to sort of share a little bit of about what happened last few years in our business. We've been growing rapidly, of course, last few years, and we have done so far 32,000 coaching sessions on our platform. We look at every year as a business, how many coaching sessions that we do, we consider those are impact sessions, like how people positively get impacted through our platform. So those are the things that we measure on. I know, as you know, as much as profitability, we value the impact that you're making. So thank you so much. You know, I know some coaches that will join here using our platform, and I'm really, really appreciate you that you're using and making that impact through our, you know, technology that we created together. So we also growing in 26 countries. We have around 10,000 coaching community with our partners, and also we are certified in ISO 27001, and we are, you know, we have a very satisfied community. So if you are not using Delenta, I will welcome you to trial our platform. There's a free 14 days trial, and also you can basically get our support to set you up and, you know, start using the product. Brilliant. So you know what? Now it's time to, you know, talk about something great and exciting. Olivier, and we've been talking for last 6 months about this event, and you won't believe what we were going back and forth about what sort of topics that we should talk about. And Olivier have some sort of ideas, like, you know, how we can create a series of these kind of a quick events to share knowledge about AI and industry trends. So Olivier, over to you. I'm so glad and very much grateful that you are here and sharing your knowledge with us. I'd love you to start with a bit of background to yourself. So in case if somebody's wondering who's Olivier, you know, that would be great. You can share your bit of background to start with, please.
Sure, yeah, thank you, Sam. So can you hear me properly and can you see my screen? Is that all okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Good, yeah. So hi everyone, yeah, happy new year to everyone, and thank you, Sam and Delenta, to welcome me in this webinar. I've seen some faces, you know, in the attendees that I know from you know the past the past webinars. So for those that don't know me yet, I'm Olivier. I'm French. I've been a pioneer in AI coaching. I've been creating one of the first AI coach called Pocket Confident a few years ago. And then I've been recently launching a new AI coach specializing in leadership development that is called Ripple. And so I'm now ending a PhD. So I'm just about to end my PhD. That's the big focus that I have. It's a PhD in how AI and coaching can help managers and leaders to develop leadership competences. So that's, you know, quickly about me. And so today I'm very happy to join this webinar. And so what I'm showing here, the key takeaway is basically it's the agenda. I've been preparing a few topics to basically kind of, you know, surface a few interesting insights and kind of provide you a short summary, because there's so much, you know, to say about research about the different AI coaching tools, how to use AI, you know, with good ethics in coaching, what are the learning and the training, and where we can, you know, access training and learning. And so I also, you know, wanted to kind of provide some answers that some of you have been asking before this webinar. So this is the agenda and the key takeaways that I'm going to go through now. Before I get into the initial topics, you know, with the research, I just would like to raise, you know, this difference here between AI in coaching and AI coaching. I'm pretty sure, Nina, you see what I want to speak about. So basically, we can speak about AI in coaching when we use AI tools. For instance, if coaches use AI tools within the coaching process, they're going to augment, enhance, or improve the human coaching process. But sometimes we can also speak about AI coaching when we use agents that are able to automate the coaching skills and sometimes replace, you know, the coaches in specific moments of the coaching journey, and actually help the coaches, the clients, to become autonomous in their practice and their training, and in the coaching that they may be doing for themselves in front of specific situations. So I think this is just a one short introduction, just that we keep in mind that there is an AI in coaching when we use AI tools within the coaching process, and there is AI coaching when we use specific agents that are made, educated, trained to emulate coaching knowledge and coaching skills. So why?
Sorry, Olivier, one more thing.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt your flow. Apologies.
no
Just
worries.
everybody knows that, you know, you're sharing your screen. In case if you're, you know, not able to see, please let us know. But there should be a tab on the top, like in the Zoom. If you want to sort of make sure that your screen can see what Olivier is sharing, that would be great. Just in case if somebody's wondering. Yeah, thank you, Olivier. Just over to
Yeah,
you.
no worries. I mean, good comments. You know, it's good to let people know. So I'm going to keep going. So why, you know, what I want to say here is that why this content today is relevant for you. What's important to understand is that AI is transforming how we can develop people, right? How, as coaching is made to help people grow and develop their skills, it's AI, it's transforming all that. So it's going to help coaches to gain time in the coaching business and the logistics, the administration. So it's going to help coaches and coaching businesses to increase the focus on the clients, on the coachees, and also to enhance and improve the quality of the coaching journeys. It's also going to help coaches and coaching businesses to generate unique insights and to create personalized tools, whether for coaches, but also for coaches, for the clients. And so what's important within this topic of AI coaching is to follow the flow, right? As I'm going to speak about, in a few minutes, AI coaching is not just a trend. It's a new knowledge that is being created, and we're going to see that with research. So I think that, some people may be afraid, or some people may want to stay in what they know, but I think it's important to follow the flow, at least to stay aware, so that you can forge your vision about how we can do coaching and how technology can enhance and can support the coaching business and the coaching journeys. So if we go into research, I have 2 or 3 slides. Just I think that what's interesting to understand is that a few researchers have been looking at the first AI coaches in the field. They've been speaking with coaches, and the first AI coaches were actually already there to support, for instance, leadership skills development, change management, because they were able to emulate, reproduce some of the coaching skills and the coaching conversations or the coaching processes. And so looking at these initial AI coaches on the field and speaking, with the people on the field in the organizations, they've been able to actually define what is AI coaching. And here, for instance, we have Dr. Caroline Grassman and Professor Carsten Schermerly from the SARH University in Germany that gives us an initial definition of AI coaching. And so we can understand AI coaching as a machine-assisted and systematic process, which we can replicate over and over again to help clients set the professional goals, but also to construct the solutions to efficiently achieve them. And if we look at one researcher, a colleague of mine from South Africa, 3 years very recently, Nikki has been the first one to compare. Actually, this is the first chart on the middle here.
Oh,
Yes, go
sorry,
ahead.
Oliver. I think, Oliver, we're having a
I'm
bit
making
of
a quote.
trouble to
Tell me.
hearing you. Yeah, I think, I don't know
Oh, do you?
whether you guys can
Okay,
hear Oliver all right. It could
interesting.
be, yeah. There's some, it's just a little iffy. Like, so do you want to go a little bit slowly, maybe? Like, because there's some gaps where we did not hear. So last sort of 60 seconds or so, we just missed your
Okay,
voice.
okay, good. First time happening. So let's see. I try to slow down. Just
Technology, eh?
interrupt
Yeah.
me and let me know. So right. So what I was saying here is that Nikita Blanche, colleague of mine from the research, is giving us another kind of definition of AI coaching. And Nikki is telling us that AI coaching can also be understood as the imitation of human coaching expertise through the application of an emulated coaching knowledge, right? From this replication and emulation of the coaching expertise by the coaching agents. And so what Nikki has been doing that was quite interesting, it's actually the first graph on the top here. Nikki has been comparing an AI coach and human coaches with graduate students to formulate and attain goals over a period of 6 months. And so what is Nikki is raising our awareness on the fact that AI coaches and human coaches in some, in some context can actually do an equivalent job in, for instance, here in helping people to reflect about their goals and to work towards attaining their goals. And in addition to that, initial comparison between AI coach and human coach, Nikki is also helping us, for instance, to understand what can be the different applications of AI into coaching. And so the second graph on the right side is actually showing us that not only AI can emulate the human coaches, right? So for instance, with coaching agents can imitate and emulate the coaching processes, but AI can also help before, during, and after the human coaching processes by, for instance, preparing the coaches, preparing the coaches, or bringing protocols, exercise, and concrete things into the coaching session in between a human coach and a human coachee. But AI coaching can also educate the coaches by bringing tools for their trainings, for their supervision. And AI coaching can also help the coaches to use their data, for instance, coaching notes, coaching conversations, or training contents, to do, to do data analysis and help the coaches to generate insight that they can use in the coaching process. And we come back to that in a few slides. And then about the research that I'm doing within my PhD, basically I'm very much focused on how AI and coaching can help leaders to develop their competencies in work settings. And so here I'm not going to go into all the details because that will be actually the goal of the further webinars and trainings that we're going to do with Delenta and other partners. I will explain that in a few minutes. So there are new concepts, there are new theories, there are new AI coaching comparisons between AI coaches and human coaches. But what we understand from this research is that AI can really help, coaches and the coachees, so the clients, to gain time, to get spaces that are neutral, where people can feel, more at ease to share some information that they may not be sharing sometimes with human coaches or with colleagues. AI coaching can also help to systematize the coaching process, which is what many organizations are looking for. They're looking for systematic approaches so that they can improve the way the coaching outcomes and results are being measured. Of course, AI coaching is understood as a way to improve the access to coaching in organizations, to support the development of people, and so to bring that development at scale. So instead of training 10 leaders, 10 managers, or 20 or 30, then some organizations will be able to bring leadership skills developments or coaching skills development to many more people in the organizations, right? So this is a very brief summary, and of course we're going to bring in more webinars and training so that we can go into the very details of this research. So I come back to this important question, I think, why this is relevant to you. Researchers are identifying that AI coaching, the different AI coaching possibilities and the different use cases, right? With the research that I've been showing, we already understand that AI can be in the coaching process, before, during, and after, to emulate the coaches, to analyze data. But what we have to understand as well is that the coaching practice and the coaching businesses are starting to integrate this research insight and this new knowledge. And so they're going to step by step transform the way they practice coaching and they deliver coaching. So more people are going to be aware of that, and more people will request the latest coaching knowledge. So it's why it makes sense to be here today and to engage, in, for instance, in the Delenta dynamics, so that you can access tools, knowledge, and so you can evolve with the latest coaching knowledge. Because again, it's not just a trend, right? It's a new knowledge that is being created. In the next two slides, I'm going to briefly speak about a few tools and the markets. Just spoiler, I'm going back to that slide. I'm not going to go into the details of every tool and players, but what the slide is showing
Olivier, we are losing you. So
us
we are
is the
having...
many players that exist today in the... Okay, weird. Yeah, let me try to move.
You
Can you
probably
hear
have
me
to
now? Is that
repeat the
okay?
last 30 seconds or so.
All right,
Sorry.
the last
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Thanks, Olivier. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so in the second, I was just explaining that as researchers identify the different AI coaching possibilities and use cases, more people will be aware of this new knowledge and will request the latest coaching knowledge. So it makes sense, right? It's important, it's relevant to be here in this webinar and to understand what people and platforms and communities like Delenta can bring to the coaches and to the coaching community. So in the next two slides, we speak about a few tools and the market. I was moving ahead with this slide, just explaining that the AI coaching market, is growing because most of the player platforms that were helping the human coaches are now integrating AI. And so basically we have kind of a consolidation that is happening in the market where all the coaching solutions are starting to be, AI coaching, hybrid modes, or full AI, right? So that there are many, many different tools here. And so when we look more deeply into the different tools, we understand that some tools can help in writing, some contents, creating, generating image, generating video. So for instance, of course, the different LLMs, such as ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, but we also have many different solutions that are helping the coaches to generate the content like images and videos if they want to complement or illustrate some of their coaching processes, or if they want to generate content for their marketing. But we also have tools that can help coaches to read content, to analyze content, to make summaries and to synthesize. So if we look at Read, Author.ai, Raynotes, Fireflies, Ovida, these are tools that you can integrate within the coaching processes, within the coaching sessions. And they're going to help you coaches or help the coaching businesses to facilitate, the capturing of the contents, the summarization, and to do some relevant analysis. If we think about Ovida, for instance, Ovida can be used by coaches in the coaching sessions, and Ovida is going to give back to the coaches very interesting insight about the time, the time of speech, of the coach versus the time of listening, the type of questions, the type of comments that the coach is making. And so all these insights can be very useful for the coaches to understand what the coach is doing that is good, but what can be improved. And then finally, we have, initially I was speaking about the AI in coaching. So AI in coaching, can be, for instance, these tools that we have in the first two squares on the left side and the middle side. But when we think about AI coaching, which is the automation of coaching skills, then we can speak about agents. And so within agents, then here we have many different tools that can actually play the role of a coach and help, coaches, help clients to engage in the coaching process, to step back, in work settings, in work situations, and to reflect, to frame goals, and to train themselves, for specific situations such as conflict resolution, sharing difficult emotions, or organizing work, with people. So these are the tools basically that we can access today. And with these tools, what's interesting is that ICF is also coming in because there are more and more tools on the market. The regulations and the coaching authorities, need to be here, need to come in to help the coaching practitioners, the coaching businesses, and the whole coaching community to basically understand how they can understand AI coaching and how they can assess, how they can evaluate the AI coaches. And so the AI coaching, the ICF, National Coaching Federation, has been creating the AI coaching standards with a group of experts like me, Nikita Blanche, but also others. And so if you go on the website of the coachingfederation.org, and if you go on the research menu and you look for the coalition and technology in coaching, then you can find the checklist, the standards, and also an Excel tool that will be able to guide you through understanding, what kind of questions you can ask yourself if you look at, AI coaching solutions and AI coaching tools. And you can even use, this Excel tool, for instance, to do a self-scoring of, your solution or some of the solutions that you would like to use. But that's not all. When we talk about ethics, not only ICF has been creating these AI coaching standards, but if you're in Europe, it's even more important because Europe has been actually creating the AI Act. And so this is very important because it means that for every person that is going to use AI, and that is going to provide an AI tool to someone else, even in the behalf of a business or an entity, then these people need to have some technical knowledge, some experience, and some education and training about AI. So this means that as coaches or for the coaching businesses, if you're going to leverage AI and provide AI to your clients and to the coaches and to the people in the field, then you need to go through some trainings. So it's also why it makes sense, to be here and to become aware that good content and good training can be delivered. If we take the example here, for instance, of a partner that we're working with to generate and to create good quality AI coaching trainings, Viva la Coaching. This is an example of an AI coaching code of ethics. And so here, for instance, Viva la Coaching help us to understand the different principles that are important for coaches to put in place when they use AI into their coaching process. For instance, transparency. This is the core of ethics. Having a clear communication about the AI tools that we mobilize in our coaching process and how we use them and how we respect the privacy and the confidentiality of our clients. How do we use the data, right? These are, for instance, the core principles that enable coaches and coaching businesses to use AI ethically in their business, right? So this is just a kind of a very short summary in between the AI coaching standards, the AI Act, that has been released, from Europe, and then the coaching code of ethics from Viva la Coaching. We understand that there are regulations, there are rules, they are in place, but they will also progress And so it's very important to become aware of them and to train ourselves to be applying them, to be using them in the best possible way. Something that is also very important about ethics is that people empowered will still be of value. Why? What do I mean by that? Is that when we look at what's happening in the United States, for instance, where Facebook is step by step changing the way freedom of speech is being done, we see that Facebook is removing the fact checking, the fact checkers, or is removing, for instance, moving the teams from California to Texas to kind of handle ethics in a different way. This is important because ethics is about being transparent, being fair to people, and making sure that we do not that we do good to people. And so I think that the ethics is important because it will empower people, and so it will still be a value for the business, right? So using ethics in the right way and being aware of that, it's always going to be a value for the users and for the customers of any kind of coaching process or coaching tools or coaching offering, right? So it's important to get in the right place to learn, to get the right insights, to get the right knowledge, and then to use the right tools in the right way. And so this is what I think Delenta, is proposing. And so this is an example, for instance, of AI coaching masterclasses and training that we do. Some of you have been asking questions, before this webinar, how I can use, for instance, OpenAI or ChatGPT and AI in my coaching process. And so this is just, one type of example. For instance, when we use OpenAI or ChatGPT, we can use it to analyze coaching notes and coaching sessions, right? So we can do synthetic analysis of coaching conversations. We can also generate tools for the coaches and for the clients. And once we have this data generated, we can leverage it, we can reuse it and transform this analysis into marketing articles, into images and videos that match the singularity of a coach or a coaching business, right? So this is just one example. And so when we speak about use cases that we cover during the trainings and the masterclasses, for instance, for coaches, we have them to understand how they can prepare and train themselves for the coaching, because sometimes, as a coach, we step into some kind of coaching request from the clients that we have never done. So we can use AI to prepare ourselves. We can supervise ourselves as a coach, with AI. We can use it to analyze our coaching notes, our training data, our coaching conversations, to generate very specific insight that then we can reuse in a good, adequate marketing to speak to our prospects and customers. But for the clients also, the use cases, or to use AI, for instance, to enable clients to discover what is coaching, to get yourself as a coach, for instance, being introduced right to your customers. But you can also use AI to engage your clients and your coaches in the coaching process with follow-up exercise, and to train them for specific purposes, for instance, conflict resolution, work organization, communication, all these kind of things. So you can, as a coach or coaching business, you will be able to leverage AI to create all these different tools to enhance the coaching process. And of course, the trainings and the webinars and everything that is, going to happen with Delenta, we do online live practice with experts, modules as well. And so we will make sure that experts are here to respond to the needs of the learner, whether the learners, will be individual coaches or will be organizations wanting to scale the knowledge that is being produced by the research and by the practice. So I think that's all. Basically, the last message is, why is this relevant to you and to us? Is because AI coaching is not just a trend to watch; it's a new knowledge. And so, as a new knowledge is being created, we need to learn it, we need to practice it, and we can make it ourselves. You can make it yours. You can appropriate the new knowledge so that you can enhance, your coaching practice and your coaching goals if you're a business and if you want to get this to more people in the organization. Yeah, I think I will just, Sam, you can go ahead and maybe you can finish the webinar, and so we can get into the Q&A sessions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you very much. This is, great content. I mean, it's quite quick. Like, I know Olivier is going, quite quickly on those content, but, we have another 5 minutes. You can basically ask questions and we can engage in a dialogue with Olivier. As he mentioned, we try to make things easier for our coaches and the coaching industry. Of course, there's a lot of knowledge, a lot of research being done, there's tool coming up, and it's, simply I get sometimes confused with, like, okay, which one I'm going to use, how we're going to use is it secure? is it really going to help my business and my customers? So that's where we are looking at 2025 with such a sort of different theme. Like our values never change. We want to help coaches. We want to help coaches to be super coaches, like with the technology that we are developing, and we want to make things easier and simplify for our coaching business and customers. So that has never changed. That's our vision. So on that point, we basically try to bring our own tools to the market with what Olivier said earlier. Like there are plethora of, I mean, there's so many different tools, and how we can basically help you to, create more engagement, make things easier. For example, one thing that we are planning, we are basically bringing in Q1 is AI powered note taker, which is, it's going to be integrated to the platform. When you do a coaching session on Delenta, you can basically simply, have notes, and then you can simply see what are the insights of those notes, and you can see the transcripts and everything within the platform without you having to go in and use another tool and copy those notes into your coaching notes area or share with the customers. We want to make their entire journey easier. And plus we are engaging with partners and expertise like Olivier and so ICF, try to sort of make the insights of your coaching sessions that you conduct on Delenta to be more meaningful. Like earlier, Olivier was saying about sort of how the supervision can be done and how you can basically give feedback from what we collect, these notes. So all of these things being done, and we are very, very excited to release that to you very soon. We are also working on how we can create a very simple, AI bot to engage with your customers. This is something that you can simply create within the platform. Especially users who use our platform. There are quite a lot here, and that you can house all your resources, like a resource area where you can house your notes, ebooks, videos, and things like that. And also you have coaching notes on the platform. So how we can bring all that to teach and create a bot very simply within the platform to engage with your existing customers or do certain things that you might consider as a very much menial activity, but just to keep the engagement going with your customers. So all these things that we are thinking through at the moment, and we are inviting all our customers, community experts to help us to build this and create this beautiful service so you can get benefited and your customers can get benefited. I mean, the technology is, again, going back to the, presentation and the content of Olivier, there's a lot going on and there are a lot of tools. They're still emerging. And what we want to do is we want to create one platform to make things easier and supercharge your coaching and simplify the entire, coaching, building a coaching business. So this is where our community coming in, something that we're going to initiate this year. And we've been thinking, we try to do it, but because of the capacity or whatever the reason, we've been postponing. But this year, we are really looking to collaborate with our, founder community, bring all these coaches together and do have these conversations about, how we can do better and what, each other's journeys look like. So we want to create this community, and we want to sort of share this with you at the very beginning of this year, just to sort of let you know that, we want to support your coaching business. And some of the users have told us that it's great to know what other coaches are doing on our platform, how they're growing their business, how they're using AI or any other services, and what are their strategies for this year. So we want to bring this together, and you will hear from very soon, especially if you are using Delenta, you will hear from us about this founder community where you can come together and share your challenges and discuss how we can, what sort of content we should be creating. If this event is better, like, do we need more events like this? So we can create this forum going on. So this is the first one that we did for this year, of course, and it will be more with your support, I'm sure. So on that note, this is our final slide. So, you must be pleased in one hand. Oh, some people might be disappointed, but, this is a fun time. What we want to do is we want to get your feedback. What is, how we can do better? Like, how we can support you better. Like even this event, like, do you want sort of AI coaching masterclass, or do you think that maybe we need to create a Delenta community that can have a open conversations with and understand from each other what we can do together. Or is there anything else that you want to learn, and how we can help you? So we want you to drive what we can do for you. So this is an opportunity for you to basically share that information in the again, our live what you call a Zoom chat window, so we can take those feedback and we take these things forward. Or is this anything but, I mean, Delenta features? Please don't request any Delenta features, please. We have enough, like we got thousands of them, but I'm just joking. But if you want, please do that as well. So right, so on that note, Oliver, anything else to mention before we go into the Q&A?
I think we're all good. So let's just go into Q&A and see, what sort of questions or feedback or, topic, people want to address.
Good that you mentioned. You know what? We got one more slide actually about questions. So we received quite a lot of questions, and some of the sort of common themes among those questions were like, how do we use AI ethically is one big area. So before we go into sort of a chat, in Zoom, do you want to sort of answer these questions, Olivier? Like, maybe we probably have short or answers, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. So, sorry, Sam, what do you expect exactly?
Just if you can go through these questions and answers, if you don't mind. And, so some of these attendants will have asked these questions,
Yeah,
and these
right.
are the common questions we have received. Thank you. Oh,
All
you
right. So
can't
I
see my
see.
screen?
I was just now. I now see the screen. I was just looking
Okay.
at I was on the
Yeah.
chat.
So first one is, how do we use AI ethically?
Yeah, well, so as I was sharing my screen earlier on, using AI ethically, the first thing of ethics is to think transparently, right? Transparency. So it's important to let the others know. So when I do, for instance, masterclasses and I work with coaches, do we do the exercise. I always tell them, look, you want to use your coaching conversations or the transcripts, right, to do analysis, with AI. Okay, good, but the first thing that you need to do is to let the clients and the coaches know that you would like to do that. So get their approval, right? This is the first thing. So it's always being transparent about your intent, about how you want to do things, and why you're going to use the coaching conversations. You can tell your coaches, and for instance, I want to use the coaching transcripts and our conversation so that I can learn about the different topic and issues and goals and competences that my
Right.
clients are generating, so that I can generate reports, I can better inform myself, and then I can come back to you with valuable insights, right? So that's also, we start from a principle of transparency, but in the end, that's why I was saying that it's still going to empower people. If you're transparent, it's an opportunity for you as a coach or a coaching business to better engage, and to better communicate and dialogue with your customers, right? So that's how we can use AI ethically. If you use, for instance, if you want to use, tools that are on the market, it's important that you spend a bit of time understanding where they're from, how they store data, how they use data. For instance, in between OpenAI and ChatGPT, and for instance, Claude from Anthropic, I think they have slight differences in the way they store data and they use data. So I think that Claude is storing your data only for 30 days before deleting it, and they're committing to not using the data for training their models, right? And I think OpenAI and ChatGPT have different terms. So here, using AI ethically is also understanding the terms and the strategies, or the, let's say, the rules, right? The principles that's the solutions are using. So this is important. Instead of just taking a solution and offering it, make sure that you understand how it's built and how they use data, right? So, and be transparent. If you want to use a tool and provide it to your coaches, to your clients, say, look, I would like to use these tools. Do you agree with that? And if the coaches and the clients are okay with that, then good, right? You can use it with them. But it's important that you understand what's behind.
Yeah.
How to protect. Yeah, you want to say something, Sam?
Yeah, just a quick one. Something that I learned recently is that in ChatGPT, of course, like Olivier said, it learns with your inputs and your content. However, there's a way that you can disable those, this learning. So if you're using a sort of, GPT, if you're creating a GPT, you can basically they have an option that where you can basically sort of disable, say that, hey, you can't, use my content to learn your algorithm or teach your algorithm. So there are sort of like, as Olivier said, there are terms in one hand. The other hand, you need to know the tool well. to use it, right? So and if you use it right, you might be able to get away from that, but make sure you use it right. That's the biggest thing, I guess. Yeah, that's where the training coming into play. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to share that with you, Olivier.
No, no, good. You're right. That's right. And so basically, I think the second question, is kind of a follow-up of the first one: how to protect privacy of client when using AI. A very simple example, for instance, when we work with coaches and we use ChatGPT, for instance, to analyze the coaching notes or the coaching conversation. Beyond the first thing to do, that is to inform the clients, is make sure that your coaching transcripts or coaching conversations do not have any personal identifiers, right? So make sure that when you use data, you don't have your clients' emails inside, you don't have the names, you don't have any numbers or address or whatever. And if your clients want to use AI or agree that you use AI, that you can ask them to, when they interact with the AI tools, then you can also suggest them that they don't mention specific names. If they want to speak about, for instance, Sam from Delenta, they could just use the initials and put an S, right? Something like that. So that's also a way, for instance, that you can protect the privacy of the clients. But for sure, it's about understanding the terms of the solutions and making sure that there is no important information that are being stored in solutions that potentially would use the data commercially, afterwards, right? So you have to get a bit knowledgeable, and you have to reflect about some processes and principles that enable you to work with your clients and coaches in ways that personal information doesn't get used in a bad way. If I look at the third question, AI coaching can ensure any style of coaching. I would say yes, because basically today, for instance, even if you just use OpenAI and ChatGPT and the custom GPTs as an initial discovery and training for yourself, you can create your own knowledge base. You can really know, with the prompts, with the instructions, the way you instruct and you guide the AI, you can really make it in a way that is going to respect many criteria of your coaching style, right? So you can be more inquiring, you can be more, right, you can really influence this with the AI. And some of the solutions that we look into in our masterclasses, for instance, Coachbox or others, they can even help you to train coach bots, and to train and even to fine tune and correct the answers and the responses that the AI agents are providing. So there is more and more the ability to ensure that your style of coaching, your voice of a coach, your singularity can be integrated into the contents that you're using to educate or to shape and to set your AI tools. Well, how to use AI in my business? I've been providing very short examples, but that's actually the purpose of the master. I've seen that in the chat. Many people have been answering, saying that masterclass would be a good idea. That's exactly the purpose of generating webinars, masterclasses, and training, so that we can accompany you, and we can get into specific use cases, specific exercise, and really use AI solutions, and show you and help you to understand how you can use it. For instance, to prepare yourself, to supervise yourself, to help your clients, to analyze your data. These are all the different use cases, for using AI into your coaching business. If I look at the other questions, let me see. What type of AI support is Delenta thinking of including in the platform? I think that this was on a few slides, but maybe I can hand over to Sam, maybe to
Yeah.
answer this
Yeah, I
question.
mean, it's very simple. Thank you, Olivier. Basically, what we want to do is we want to look at your user journeys, like, your life cycle of running your coaching business. Special, part that we basically see in that, coaching business is coaching sessions. And that's where we will come in with the AI coach note taker. So that would replace any other note takers that you use. That's what we want to do. And also give you insights about certain insights about your coaching, the style of coaching, questionings and things like that. And that is something that we are experimenting, and we are, collaborating with our, experts in the industry to develop. And we also want to, you to be part of that as, these things are going out. So you can test, you can use the product, and you can see what else we can do for you. So we also received some feedback at the beginning, I think last quarter, when we did a survey, and many people came back and said, we used note takers from some other providers, and we had to copy these notes into Delenta notes area and share with customers. So we thought we will develop that for you and create summaries, insights, and things like that. We were also thinking about creating a very simple AI bot that you can interact with, like Olivier was talking about. The style of your input, like to the bot, will basically help them to engage with your customers better. For example, about certain tasks that they do, actions that they need to do in order to progress their coaching, or their whatever the objective that they want to achieve through your coaching. So all of these things will be done within the platform. We are at the early stage. Just want to let you know, we try to be very patient with this AI bandwagon, if that may. A lot of AI is going on. We just want to basically sort of observe and do the right things to help coaches and scale your business, streamline your business, and help your customers. So that's what we want to do. So please feel free to engage with us and share your feedback as well. The last question: what kind of coaching processes do you automate with AI?
Yeah, so on this question, for instance, there are different processes we can talk about, the clarification, the reflection on the situation, right? So problem clarification, problem formulation, goal formulation, solution generation, and then there were a few other processes or protocols, exercise, right? So, there are so many. So basically, we can really use AI to craft, to generate, to create tools and exercise that can, automate, this type of processes with AI, right? So that's what we're doing. And so some other processes may not be directly into the coaching methods, but they can also be into the administration of coaching. But you've been speaking about this some like just a few ago, for instance, taking notes and generating summaries, data analysis. These are all the different processes that can be used, in which we can use AI to either gain time or other generate some insights that are going to help us coaches enhance our coaching processes and journeys.
It's brilliant. Oh, thanks a lot, Olivier. And yeah, so I mean, I know we are sort of almost running out of time, and we only have 10 more minutes to go. I mean, no, 5 more minutes. So if you have any questions, maybe if you want to sort of share or ask, comments to share, or any questions to ask, this will be the perfect time.
Sam, just one last thing. I've seen, one question from, I don't remember the name, someone in the chat was saying, beyond putting all on platform, how else are you going to support the needs of the coaches and the coachees? And maybe that person asked the question, as we were, providing the content to the slides, is basically by, creating the trainings, the masterclasses, the community, right? These are the other things that are not putting tools in the same platform, but these are the other, let's say, aspects or features or activities that we be in the platform to actually help not only the coachees, the users, right? The coaching clients, excuse me, but also the coaches, so that they can develop competency, they can gain skills, right? So that's the answer to that question.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the community, right? So we really value our community. And, if you've been with, Monica Humpel, you're there, and, there's several coaches here that, use our product and, being with us. So the community is a huge part. And with your feedback, we can do better. And that's what that's where we want to create the founder community as well. So soon you will be, invited to a community where we can basically collaborate together and overcome those challenges. Hi, Tamara.
Hi, yeah, thank you. That was my question. So that was very well answered. So thank you very much, Olivia. The other thing I asked was about personality profiling. So I've been experimenting a little bit with using personality profiling, and I think there's quite a lot of scope for that, and building the context around a client. Obviously, there's loads of GDPR issues there as well to consider. But I just wondered if that's something you're looking at Delenta, or you're already doing.
Yeah, I mean, this is something that we are looking. We are at the early stage, I would say, Shamara, just so you know. And like now, just you mentioned, it will go to our, another, sort of a department, just to make sure that it will be prioritized and looked at clearly. But we got your details, and we will definitely follow up with you on that. Thank you for, raising that question.
Thank you.
Great. I mean, such a great participants. I mean, thank you so much joining. And like I said, I mean, I don't know how many times I told you, like this is the first webinar of the year, and we want to do more. And again, you coming in and asking these questions, and engaging with us basically will motivate us more to do all these kind of sessions, training, and workshops. So yeah, I think on this note, again, like if you're in Europe, have a lovely evening. If you're in States or anywhere else, again, have a great afternoon and the rest of the day. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you in the next Delenta event. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for the great questions.
Thank you,
See you
Olivier.
soon.